Hi everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Point. I am Papri Das and today I bring you face to face with one of the brightest minds in the industry, the Managing Director of Maxus South Asia, Kartik Sharma. Welcome to our show, sir. So you have been here for a year and a half with Maxus. So how has been the journey like?
I think the journey has been superb, in fact fantastic in many ways. It's been over 18 months, a lot of new stuff that we've been able to do as a team, new clients, a lot of exciting work on existing clients. We launched a couple of new practices. Last year we launched a behavioral science practice under the Moribus brand name. Recently this year we launched Mesh, which is a marketing command center. So really exciting times ahead for media.
So you started off your career as a management trainee at Ogilvy & Mather and now you're here. What have been the highlights of your career?
I think starting with getting into Ogilvy itself, passion for advertising was very high. Always wanted to be in advertising, though I did my graduation in commerce. I never wanted to be a chartered accountant. So the rebel in me wanted me to do something different. So always remember Ogilvy and thank them for taking me into this field. The second big change happened when I joined JWT after my MBA, where I was actually doing client servicing, and it was a chance encounter which made me move into media. From there on to when I joined Group M, that was another big moment. And from Group M to Madison, I did a totally different stint related to media, but not doing my traditional, planning and strategy role. I set up the Madison's Research Center, and as destiny would have it, I'm back in Group M. I joined Maxus about 8 years ago, and I've done various roles, starting with handling the Bombay office and being part of a team which helped develop frameworks for creativity, going on to be part of one of the core team members. 4-5 of us were part of the new business team. So Maxus has helped me do different things and dream different things.
You mentioned Madison and you have worked under Sam Balsara. What has been that experience like?
I think it's been fantastic. Sam gives everybody a lot of freedom to do what they believe in. Same was the case with me. Gave me a full free hand to actually develop Madison Media Research Center when I worked with them. Worked on lots of new businesses, developed a lot of tools and frameworks which was useful for the clients, and actually helped really think big, doing things which you would have never done before. I think Sam very pushes you without being breathing down your neck. He gives you a space, at the same time makes you really accountable. I think it's wonderful.
And how close are you to him now? Now you've
I have the greatest respect for Sam. I think we continue to meet each other in various social occasions and parties and stuff like that. So he's a great leader, and I've learned a lot from him.
You have observed the industry for over 2 decades now. What has been the game changers, do you think?
I think the first game changer happened sometime in 2000 with the advent of internet in its nascency. The second game changer is somewhere in the last 4 odd years, when the amount of data which is coming through various media like social media in particular, I think it's unimaginable, as in we can't even fathom the amount of data that we are sitting on today, and the role of technology in shaping our lives. So if you put internet, technology, data together, see from the lens of content, that is what consumers consume, it's a very different world than what we actually in the first 10 years that we learned.
Do you think that that genre has not been completely tapped yet? There's a lot more prospects in it.
Absolutely. I think we're just scratching the surface as far as data and digital is concerned. It's a journey. I think a lot of consumers are still India, while we have the numbers to back on every single medium. I think there's a lot more that is going to happen. The way technology is reshaping consumers' life, it's I think very different. And you need a new world order and a new media order to actually understand this. So some of the old practices will give way to new practices. For example, programmatic buying and programmatic planning, which is all about understanding one consumer at a time and giving them messages which are relevant, is something
Targeted.
which is something new that the world is seeing and learning. So similarly, the world of data, well, there's a lot of data, there's also a noise which comes with the data. So every data is not important. So how do you actually make meaning out of the data? which is relevant for you. So it's going to be a mix of everything.
You see a lot of emerging trends. We hear a lot about 360-degree campaigns and all. You see a lot of emerging trends in that aspect as well. Convergence?
Yeah, I would prefer to call it integrated campaigns or integrated thinking. I think the industry has come a full circle. So when I started my career in Ogilvy, where we used to talk 360 and integrated campaigns, over the years there has been a lot of specialization. Media agencies become more and more specialized to now where clients have started telling us that we wanted integrated solution. So to me, it's like a full circle coming together. It's finally about ability to connect with consumers in ways which are very, very meaningful to them.
You know, a lot of awards came in the way right after you joined. 2014 Agency of the Year, 2015 Digital Agency of the Year. Tell me a little about that. Do you think that you strive for awards as well? Do you have that passion that yes, my team's gonna win a lot of awards?
No, I think we start always with the brand and the consumer at mind. We always want to do things which are different, disruptive, yet meaningful to the consumers. That's always the starting point. Once we have done that, so when we do or recommend solutions to client, we don't even think awards. We want the brand to do well. And once it is done, more often than not, what you will find is that if you have done all those things right, there's a good chance that it will win awards. Awards are good because it keeps you kind of motivated. You want to do new things, but we don't start with awards in mind. And awards is more like a byproduct. To me, everything that we do has to be effective for the client. It starts with effectiveness, and awards is just a byproduct.
Advertisement to educate or advertisement to entertain? For you, which one works?
I think personally for me to entertain works because it has a larger ability to be remembered. Else advertising for only education, I may not, or any consumer may not remember for a long period of time. Education does not mean you can't be entertaining. You can be highly entertaining and still give a education-led message. So that's the sweet spot. And there have been many brands, including social messages, which have done this by using very entertaining formats. At the core, it's still education. So it can coexist.
So I've learned that your mother was a music teacher. Do you take interest in music as well?
Lots of interest. I used to play violin for a very long time. Nowadays I don't have the time to play, but I do listen to a lot of music still, all genres of music.
And what about your favorite artists?
I like R.D. Burman, I like A.R. Rahman, no surprises. From South I like Ilayaraja. I like some of the new crop like Harish Jayaraj from South. Then there are some of the jazz players and fusion players. Since I have a huge interest in violin, I like L. Subramaniam, L. Shankar. I like Jean-Luc Ponty, who is a very big jazz violin player. I like the classics, the Mozarts, the Beethovens, nothing to beat them.
What is your best way to spend time with your family?
I think weekends are best spent with family. Try my best not to work during weekends and totally unwind. So relaxation is in form of catching up on a movie or going out for a dinner, or sometimes just chatting with relatives and friends at home. So it's a mix of all this and actually spending more quality time with family.
A lot of youngsters, enthusiasts in advertisement and media coming in. What would be your message to them? How should they build themselves as individuals to have success in this industry?
I think to me, learning till the last day of your work, of your career is very, very critical because the landscape is changing so fast. So what you learned, say, yesterday may not be relevant 2 weeks from now. So continuously learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and only when you fail a few times are you going to win. And the joy of winning will only come when you really know what is failure. And build relationships, people relationships. Finally, this business is about people. And once you know and understand people, you will be able to do much better into the industry. Last, work hard and party harder.
Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure is.
Thank you.